It has become a tradition. The International, a tournament summoning the finest Dota teams from across the globe.
Welcome to the International.
For 5 days, they battle. For 5 days, the crowds cheer. For 5 days, the world watches. And when the dust settles, the champions emerge. A year has passed, and as the teams gather once more, the stakes have never been higher. The Dota community has made its voice heard, pushing the International to incredible new heights. 16 teams will battle for their piece of the largest prize pool in esports history, over $2.6 million. Who will emerge victorious? The battle begins.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the International 2013 Dota 2 Championships. We're live. A little bit of mic noise there, but ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the International 2013 Dota 2 Championships. So you're joining us here at the pre-show at the panel for a truly amazing event. An event where the teams will play for a prize purse of over 2.6 million. We have 16 teams and only one will be able to walk away with the title, the championship, and to be able to say they're the best Dota 2 team in the world. I'm James Too Good Harding, your host of the panel, but don't worry, I'm not here alone, I'm in good company. Joining me on the panel for the first time is going to be Malk Jacob from EG, professional player. Welcome to the panel, Malk.
Thank you very much. I'm super excited to be here. I got like butterflies swarming out of me, my heart is pounding, everything's just gonna be so great. So excited.
And Ben, a surprise addition, Ben Malini, ex-professional player as well, full-time streamer from the interwebs.
Old teammates with Jacob. So unfortunately, David Gods Parker could not be here, so I'll be subbing in for him. I only found out a few days beforehand, so I haven't had a chance to meet many of the players, but I'm excited to be here. It's going to be a great tournament. And
of course, it wouldn't be a panel without our resident stat man. It's Bruno from the Good Studio. I'm not really sure where you're from originally. I'm not sure this is this planet, but are you feeling okay, Bruno?
I was trying to check, and there was something wrong with me, and I was trying to figure out what it was, and I was like, and now I know what it is.
Boom. There we go.
That's much better. There we go.
All right, yeah, so of course this is just a little pre-show. The event is soon about to kick off, so we get word on that in just a moment. But guys, I'm really excited for this. We've got some great matches coming up earlier. Do you have, before the event starts, any just kind of favorites real quickly for the whole event?
I mean, before I went to Seattle, my favorites were Tong Fu, and I sort of expected Orange to go very deep into the tournament, but we've seen Alliance and Na'Vi dominate through the group stages, clearly showing how good they are. So I'm torn on this, like any team could win at this point.
Yeah, so many good teams, and I do actually believe they're almost ready in the hall, so we're going to actually throw it over to the hall for the official start of the International 2013 Dota 2 Championships.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2013 International. And now, Gabe Newell.
Welcome to the International. For Valve, this really is one of the best times of the year. We always think of ourselves as part of the community, but at the International, we get to be fans as well. So why do we host the International? It's a great part of the experience of being a Dota player. Every time that you guys play a match or create an item or contribute to the compendium, you're helping make Dota better for the rest of us. That brings us to these teams, these 16 teams, the best in the world here to see who's going to win this year's International. They not only make the game better for the rest of us, they make it great. So please join me in welcoming this year's competitors.
there you have it. There are the teams, and you actually saw all the flags kind of light up along the side, and they've got their own kind of booths at the top. We've got the audience ready for the games to start, and it was, we were here. I was here last year. Bruno was with me as well. I'm sure Malka turned up for EG. Did you attend last year?
Unfortunately, I did not. I was at a wedding.
Okay, you're our newbie for the panel then. But last year was absolutely amazing as well. This year, it's so much harder to predict who's going to go all the way out of the 16 teams that we just saw the flags of in the actual hall where the tournament will be played. But as I mentioned, I got a little prediction from you there, Malk, but any kind of favorites for this?
I mean, clear favorites are Na'Vi and Alliance. They secured first place in their group well before the group stages ended, and both of them, I mean, Alliance being undefeated, that's almost unheard of, especially against this level of competition.
In my compendium, I put that there will be no team that will go through the group stages, without a loss. Yeah. So yes, Bruno.
Same here.
I want to say Alliance because they're very strong, and being in Sweden for quite a while, they made me kind of root for the team. But it's really hard when you get friends in all of the teams as well. And let's not forget that LGD China was unbeaten last year.
Good point.
And they didn't get to win the $1 million. So Alliance probably looking really strong, but that doesn't mean they just won right now.
Absolutely. I mean, the story is going to unfold, and we have no idea how it's going to. So make sure you stay with us for the whole 5 days of the International. But talking about what happened last year, LGD weren't able to get to that 1 million. And actually, it was Na'Vi versus Invictus Gaming that played in the grand finals. And we have a recap video, I hope for you, in just a second, showing you last year.
There he is. Chuan going to be tossed up in the air. Comes down. Blows the Ravage, though. Catches most of EG. Beautiful vacuum.
Chuan's low, but Na'Vi players are dying. 3's dead. GG's gold. IG is your champion.
So you have it. In 2012, Invictus Gaming were the champions, beating out Na'Vi in the grand finals, which were, of course, the 2011 champions. They're both here, though, in 2013 to compete, and we'll see how they do throughout the tournament. But they're returning members to the International, but we've got some new ones for you here as well. So I'd like to introduce you to someone who's new to Dota, new to the International. It's our on-site reporter and interviewer, Casey Atchinson.
Good morning, James. Thank you. I want to start by saying that this is all so new to me, and the reason I was excited to get involved is that I just like telling stories of people who are passionate about something, and the passion on this alone is amazing. So I'm looking forward to learning all about it in the next few days. But we thought it'd be kind of fun to take you behind the scenes of Benaroya Hall. We're out here in the lobby right before you go into the actual staging area. Here is the prize, the Aegis, and of course all the teams hoping they're the ones who get their names inscribed on the back at the end of this thing. And come on, Mike. Come on, let's show him over here. Mike's behind the camera right now. Obviously, a lot of people super excited about the secret shop, and the line for this, by the way, is still all the way along the windows here, and a few hours ago even, it took a long time just for people to get through. Here are some of the things you can buy. This is a Brewmaster shirt, which I think is super cool. So this is up for grabs, and then of course they have a lot of Dota. Here we go. It's really hard to juggle everything, James. You didn't warn me about this.
I know, I didn't. I'm glad you knew that was a Brewmaster, though. I was going to ask you if you knew a
Do
hero
I get points
yet.
for that?
You get a bonus point already.
They've been tutoring me on all. So far, he's my favorite for obvious reasons, but we'll get into my drinking problem later. I also want to show you about the screens that they have up. A lot of people tweeting, and I've been interacting with some people online already, and a lot of I really appreciate, first of all of the advice that you're giving me, and I'm just hoping I can do you all justice, because this is something that I think people are so passionate about, but there are so many people who don't know about it, so I'm really hoping to kind of get the word out. Let's go this way, shall we? I don't know if you can notice, but there are cords galore behind here, so if I trip and fall flat on my face, just laugh with me. We'll have fun with it. Hello, sirs. So here's the behind the scenes section. We want to show you how technical we've gotten here. The setup is fantastic. You guys can wave if you want.
Look how handsome we look from a distance. We're much better.
That's what we call the
distance.
beauty pageant. Hey there, how are you? I'm really excited to be working with you guys, and just go easy on me.
No, we're not going to at all. We're going to have questions
Fabulous.
for you. We want the best interviews, and I want people to make sure that they're going to train you so hard on the Twitter account with the hashtag TI3 that by the end of the show, you're going to be able to commentate as good as Toby-Wan Kenobi.
You think? Really?
Yeah.
No, it's very easy, don't worry.
I'm going to let Toby take that up with you.
Okay.
Back to
good.
you guys.
Thank you, Casey. So, there we have it. We're going to have some great interviews with Casey, with the players, and just looking forward to see how this is going to progress and what the players are, of course, going to have to say. But, of course, we're now at the main event. And the first game that we are going to see in just a little bit is going to be Na'Vi versus Orange. But before we get there, we should also take a little look at what happened in the group stages. And to do that, we have a recap.
我是来自中国的一位职业 Dota 玩家，叫陈瑶，游戏 ID 叫周，现在代表的队伍是 IG。
一个好的战队可能只是成绩方面是非常出色，或者是队员的个人能力非常好，但是一个很棒的战队，它需要有一个非常完善的管理，需要一个非常好的团队来支援他们。玩家想加入 IG 俱乐部，首先是对 IG 这个品牌的认可，因为以后我们是希望让选手作为一个明星来培养。陈瑶对团队影响是非常大的。陈瑶作为游戏中一个 carry 的位置来说，他跟其他职业队的俱乐部的 carry 是不一样的，而且他跟队友沟通是非常好的。很多俱乐部的 carry 在队中只是负责打钱，因为像陈瑶这样的小孩，他们现在非常小，他们并不知道自己需要什么，但是我们会帮助他来达成他的愿望。
最难的决定不是他打职业的事吧。然后我妈妈当时也挺对，她说她要打职业，我妈妈其实很反对的，因为家里人她在读那个建筑工程学，然后即将毕业了，都想她找个好工作。然后她说她要打职业，然后我妈妈都比较反对。然后我说随她吧，她有她自己的想法了，毕竟已经很大成年了。
要她继承她的那个职业了，他爸爸是搞土木系的吧？我说到一定，我就问他，我说你爱不爱好你爸爸那工作？他说我爱好啊，但是我现在还玩一段时间吧。我说让他玩2年吧。我说你玩2年之后，你就搞你的那个土木系啊。
But he can't tech everybody. Chuan's low, but Na'Vi players are dying. 3's dead. GG's gold. GG is gold. IG is your champion for International 2.
我觉得我从打职业生涯开始一直都是比较幸运，包括到目前为止，我自认为是成功的。我得到了自己想要的，然后自己的事业也是自己的爱好。2年前的职业处境，如果跟现在比的话，是有非常大的变化的。我觉得5年后，电子竞技有可能成为传统的体育项目。我希望电子竞技职业生涯这一方面能发展成一个 全民的体育项目，能加入奥运会正式的体育项目，这样的话，我人生的目标理想也就达到了。
肯定骄傲，他完成了我的梦想。
So there we have it. That was last year's winners, Invictus Gaming. A story of their journey and also a little bit about esports in there as well as a whole and how it's changed, and it's fascinating. But it was, of course, not the group stage video. I've already lied to you once. I promise I'll lie to you more. But let's talk about Invictus Gaming, because it's still a pretty big story, because they are returning champions. But to a lot of people, interestingly enough, they do not feel like they are in championship form. Is that the general consensus, or can they make a repeat performance because no one's won an international back-to-back?
Well, I think one key point to note is that they definitely don't look as strong as last year, but neither did Na'Vi last year, and they still went into the grand final of things. So
very true.
IG can still surprise, IG can still come out on top, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them go very deep in the tournament still. They're one of the most experienced and talented teams in the tournament, so I expect them to do great things still.
Yeah, even though they've been looking pretty weak in the past few months, they were on fire from last year's TI2 until, I'd say, the beginning of summer, until May. They had a period of 8 months where they were just straight dominating everybody. But going back to the group stages, they were 8-6, tied with 2 other teams, and they dropped 2 versus Alliance, 2 versus Tongfu, 1 versus LGDN, and 1 versus, I think, Orange. But they came storming out of the group stages. They 2-0'd Liquid to secure a spot in the winner's bracket and to show everybody what they're made of.
Yeah, we can actually take a look at the group stages as well, how they kind of went down, because we had to separate the teams into the upper bracket and also lower bracket of the tournament. As you can see there were 2 groups, Group A and Group B, and this is the upper bracket games that you'll get to see. So you can see Na'Vi there. IG did make it in as well, so they will have a chance to start in the upper bracket. But what do you think of these matches in the upper bracket, guys, and the teams that came through from the groups?
To me, what stands out is Alliance versus LGD and DK versus IG. Those are really, really intense matches to me. I mean, Na'Vi and Orange and Tongfu and Fnatic are both going to be very intense as well, and all of the teams in the winner bracket seems to be the favorites going into the winner bracket, maybe with Fnatic and Zenith being the...
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, this is the lower bracket, so the teams that didn't have the best performance in the group stages, but are, of course, still in the tournament and still have a chance to take it all here. What stands out for you here? Because normally when you look at a lower bracket of a tournament, you're like, who shouldn't be here? Any kind of shouldn't be in the lower bracket, maybe performed a little bit better and got unlucky?
I mean, it's the best tournament of the year. Anyone could go into the lower bracket with all these good teams available. I think Zenith is the only one who really people might have expected more from than going into the loser bracket, but they're also a very erratic team in terms of results, so no big surprises to me.
Yeah, I mean, Fnatic EU did end up taking their spot, and surprisingly enough, Alliance actually did not pick Fnatic to be their opponent, and as being winner of the group stage, they actually chose LGD China, which is quite stunning in my opinion. That's probably the most surprising thing to me.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's been a crazy story for a lot of them, and there were some ties because, of course, to get into the upper bracket or lower bracket, you're either top 4 of your group or you're bottom 4. You play every other team twice, and you can go to you can either 1-1, 2-0 them, or get 0-2'd. And there were some crazy results. Even Na'Vi in the group stages had a very rough start, but they did make it into the upper bracket where they actually lost out to Fnatic 0-2. So, Bruno, in terms of the group stages and how the teams have been performing overall, what's the story for you?
Well, the story is that no one in the losers bracket is out. That's the thing. Interestingly, even though the beginning matches are best of ones, you win 2 best of ones and you get to the money, you get to the top 8. Winners bracket, do not be overly comfortable because you're there, because 4 teams will advance, 4 teams will fall down. And if these guys fall down, now they have a lot of pressure on them.
Oh yeah, I know from painful experience that even though you're in the winner bracket from the get-go, it doesn't equal you in the money. EG started out in the winner bracket last year, we finished 9th to 6th or 9th to 12th place. So anything can still happen.
Yeah, anything can still happen. And the one team that everyone's got their eye on, in my opinion, is Alliance. They were the team that did not drop a single game in the group stages. And how does that happen? Like, did anyone predict that coming?
Well, I think a lot of teams or players or the community on the whole knew that the Alliance would be some of the favorites going into the tournament. They've been very strong in their performance, both in China and back in Europe. So no surprise.
Yeah, no surprise. But we do actually have a nice little some footage for you about Alliance and their group stages and how it went. So we're going to go to that and see exactly how their group stages went down.
Alliance excels at executing their game plan. You simply cannot afford to get behind them at any given point because they are one of the hardest teams to ever come back on, just because they're so comfortable in the compositions they draft. They have such a wide hero pool, so they're often hard to predict even during the draft. But more than anything, they're a team who knows how to take what small little openings you give them and capitalize them in a big way.
He needs to hit his Alliance. S4, he wants to jump. He's got a 4-man coil right here if he gets it. 2 silence, and there goes your call. 2 to catch out. Hand of Golgi, Misery alive a second longer. He still is going to go down from that prop ultimate, and the Venomous roll on Pycat locked in position. There's a double kill for Admiral Bulldog, and they just go Visage with a nuke, picks up the Alchemist, moving on to Braxton. Still going to track gold, and there's too much damage. Bulldog gets himself another triple kill. How many kills has he claimed in just tonight so far, man? It is going through the roof for him. And a full Monkey King bar up and running an S4 DD rune. And now Lanham, well, he'll go Invis, and then Naga throws the ulti, but the BKB is still up there for the Alchemist. Like, well, we can keep attacking you while the rest of your team just stay where you are. And then Chakram through Kabu and Lu, and look at S4! Oh!
Around here, 100%. It's
seeing if they can catch out the team that will try to scout out if they're doing Roche. The ward is already placed, they will see them.
Bulldog, okay, that was cute.
Yeah,
Bulldog
I saw that.
Gave vision of his treant, then he sent it into the Roche base.
And they come.
To force them to run up and check.
Here comes the kill. Up on Ohio. He tries to firefly himself away. Open wound still trying to slow down Loda, but Loda finds himself KYXY. First blood already down. Io with the kill. KYXY I think he's gonna be dead as well. That tether giving Loda the extra speed that he needs to, and that is Eki Venomancer with the kill.
That was
2 kills gone away of Alliance. Nicely done.
Oh my god, Alliance, you master nerd.
Their fights more wisely, and I just don't have confidence in Tong Fu. Like, hero-wise, they could still win the game, but just the way they're playing, it feels like it's Alliance's chance. But here we go. One more fight for Tong Fu. BKBs all get popped. Now on to S4. No, he's backing off. House on the run. His BKB is about to wear off. He hits Loda a few times. There's your RP. Loda in trouble. Quad bolt over the top. They bring him down. Finally, Loda's dead. But now there's time lapse in, and he's gonna find the kills. And that's all she wrote. Tong Fu out mind gamed, outplayed, and outmaneuvered. Will fall to the Alliance. 78 minutes in. 32 to 32, and Alliance keeps their perfect record alive. Barely, but they do it.
So there we have it. That was Alliance in their prelim stages. They got a 14-0 victory, and I think LD almost said it best in some of his commentary. Alliance outplaying, outmaneuvering, outstrategizing their opponents, and they've just done so well. The boys from Sweden, you know, it's an all-Swedish team, but the boys from Sweden that have a huge fan base behind them from what they've done recently have a lot of pressure on their shoulders. How is this going to play out for Alliance?
Having talked to Loda a lot especially, I know they're very humble going into this. They know LGD went undefeated through the group stage last year. They know nothing is settled. Just because you win 14 games in a row doesn't mean you're the favorite still. He's being very humble about this, and he doesn't like people saying to him, hey, you're going to win this tournament. So I know they're taking it very, very quiet and just playing their own game throughout.
Ben, what do you reckon, Alliance?
I mean, they just have so many strategies up their sleeve. We saw like a 1-minute pre-creep spawn Roshan before, and now they're trying to use that to their advantage and smoke behind. They have so many tools up their sleeve, and it's very difficult to ban out versus them too. Admiral Bulldog, when he gets his bear, I think he had a 14-minute Midas, Radiance, Tranquil boots, and Brown boots, and that is just absolutely ridiculous. You pretty much forced the ban out versus Admiral Bulldog, and you had to ban Wisp versus Alliance too, and that just leaves them up to do whatever they want and just run over their opponents.
Yeah, Bruno, what's really stood out for you from Alliance?
Well, if I had to play Alliance, knowing what I know, I'm looking at them. I was like, I don't know what they can do. They're 100% win rate on all of their heroes. So, and the most important thing is that they do not have one star player. If they don't have Bulldog, and people really like to ban Bulldog's heroes, they want to deny him that Lone Druid, maybe the Nature's Prophet as well. But you have S4, which is an amazing mid player. You have Loda, which always delivers. You have EGM and Aki always in the support role, amazingly well. Who do you stop? Where do you start? I really don't know.
It's such a well-rounded team. You can't really just shut down Admiral. Like we've seen teams pick and ban just to shut him down, and it's never working out for them. I don't know how to stop an alliance. I'm looking forward to see if anyone can.
Yeah, certainly. And I believe we actually might have had an interview with Bulldog, but we might save that for a little bit later, because it might just give too much information away. Maybe he's telling people how to beat Alliance. So instead, we're actually going to go check out the stage area. And to help us with this, of course, it's Casey.
So I think you heard that. It's pretty packed here. A lot of energy. What's in your mug there? Just
vodka.
Dude, that's awesome. James was kind of giving you some crap out there, so I told him I got your back.
Thank you. I'm sure James will give everyone enough material to give him crap for the entire competition, so we're fine.
I better stay on James' good side. We thought it'd be really kind of neat to take you on stage because it's a really cool perspective. It's really hard to explain just how high the energy is. I'm nervous just standing in front of everyone, and I'm not even playing. So you can imagine. Look at that. Whew. So imagine being a player and having to deal with this. Now, the technique we're going to be getting into, but the technology is really amazing. So obviously the heroes are going to be below all the players. We wanted to show you that up close and personal. Now the screen, I know everybody here can see the screen, but for those of you watching at home, this is ginormous, if I can just invent a word. So obviously you're going to see the play on the center there, and then off in the upper left-hand corner is the mini-map. And we're going to take you inside to see the behind the scenes inside the pods, which you can see on the lower corners here. And for those of you at home, I don't know if they're going to let me do this. I don't know if I'm really supposed to, but I'm going to go back there anyway. So bear with me. Off we go. The doors are kind of heavy. All right, here we go. You all right there, Myron? We're going to close this off. So soundproof, you can hear me because, well, you know why. But we wanted to take you inside and show you what it's like from the perspective of the player. So they can see everyone. Everyone's still out there. Really hard to hear, though. Well, now you're being super loud, so of course. Now look at these cameras. These are the cameras that are going to allow you to see the players as they're actually moving through each game and each match. So it's kind of an up close and personal way at home to find. And I don't know, you guys excited to see the documentary on Saturday? Okay. And you'll get a chance to see it soon. I promise you that. That's kind of what got me so excited about this, is I got a chance to see the documentary and seeing behind the scenes the players and how excited they were, how intense it was. And again, I'm new to Dota, but I'm really excited to get involved and learn more because everyone is so passionate about it. And I'm hoping everybody out there who maybe doesn't know about it is going to start to get into it too and really respect you guys and what you do, because it's really impressive. So again, all the computers here, all the different. You all right there, Myron? Myron's having to, can you guys see Myron? He's tiptoeing out the, come on, Myron, you got this. You can, back. Walking backwards with the camera and 200 cables, no big deal. Yeah, sure, why not? That's for you. That's for you. You okay? Please be careful. And then, of course, I want to show you the creme de la creme, the teams. You can see all of them up there. See if we can pan. And then back around that way again. So this is what it's like on stage. We're going to give you more behind the scenes action throughout the day and throughout all of the 5 days, actually. And I just want to thank all of you at home. I've been reading all of your tweets. I want to thank you guys, too, for bearing with me as I learn more about Dota. I'm really excited. And this is just an awesome thing that I can't wait to showcase, hopefully to a bigger audience as well. James, back to you.
Thank you so much, Casey. Yeah, absolutely amazing. Everyone's, look at that, turnout in full force here in Seattle, where we're going to be live for 5 days. But also, I have to have Twitch chat open too, and the guys on Twitch chat, there's 130,000 of them right now, and there will be more, and there's going to be multiple streams, so different languages throughout the whole event. And I guess the stage is very much set, and you could see that Casey was in one of the pods, and as you know, the first game we all saw the Na'Vi setup, and I guess that's where we're going to go next, because the first game will be Na'Vi versus Orange. I hope we're ready to introduce the teams, but before we are, what do you kind of expect to happen in this matchup? Because, Ben, you, Dota Lounge, percentages, Na'Vi, Orange.
I say Na'Vi 2-0. I think it's roughly like 75-25 in favor of Na'Vi right now. Keep in mind, there are 11-3, but they lost 2 games right off the go against Fnatic. So they immediately started off 0-2 and ended up 11-1, only dropping one game. And that was like at the very end when it didn't really matter. They had already secured first place, and maybe they were being a little bit lackadaisical, but they're really strong right now. And I don't really see Orange losing this, or Orange winning this rather.
All right, and apparently we've got a fabulous 5 heroes. Maybe.
Fab 5.
Bruno, have you got a fabulous 5 heroes?
I have fabulous 5 heroes, and I want to introduce them right now. So I think we're going to talk about Navi's strongest heroes in the tournament so far. So here they are, I guess. Or not. Who cares? Let's start talking about them anyways.
We gave you your own segments that no one knew that were happening.
Exactly, it's
but,
like surprise.
I wanted to see the Fab 5 heroes.
I want to see them as well.
But tell us about them. Tell us about Navi's kind of picks and what they're playing.
So interestingly, Navi is 11-3. But the most important thing about that is that the only 2 losses were to Fnatic. That's the only loss they had where they lost both matches. It was versus Fnatic on their first game, so we can say they were warming up, they were getting prepared. Then they also lost one game versus LGD China at the end of the tournament, so we can say maybe they were relaxing and just wanting to take the day off afterwards. In terms of what they're good at, Fnatic has been amazing on the Darks here. He's 7-0, and also another of the great heroes from Navi was the Weaver. Only 1 match lost, but 7 wins. And Weaver, it's not only Navi's hero, it's the hero of the tournament so far.
It looks like one of those heroes that Xbox is really comfortable playing. He can play his aggressive carry style with it.
It really feels...
Run on into the enemy and hope for the best, and then run on out again and go back in, and that's what he likes to do. So
here's the Fab 5.
Wow, they look really cool, don't they? So yeah, we were talking about the Weaver and the Darks here. Of course, we can't forget about Puppy's Chen. He's amazing. They have 5 victories with that. If I say Rubik, who comes to mind?
Me.
Yes.
And then the second best Rubik in the world, Kurokai.
That sounds perfect. And surprisingly, we see the Earthshaker at the end, which is a pick that we normally don't see that much in 2013 in terms of support. But Puppy and Kuroki have been trading the role of the Earthshaker in 5 matches. They won all 5 of them. But the color note is that Puppy is always negative in score when he plays it, while Kuroki ends up 3-1 when he played it. So I guess he might be the better kill stealer. Maybe he has the carry inside him a little bit.
He's saving the Fisher.
Yeah, so there it is. Navi's Fabulous 5.
Yep, Navi's Fabulous 5, and that's our introduction to Navi. But let's let Navi introduce themselves to the international here.
My name is Daniil Shutin. My nickname is Dandy. I'm from Lviv, Ukraine. I play for Navi. I'm clowny, weird, crazy guy who always do some crazy stuff. But overall, I'm a very serious person. I had trip to Sweden, DreamHack, when China. It's like a lot of stuff was happening. And one day there was Dota 2 Super League finals. Tongfu was playing against DK, best of 5. We came there. They took us like VIP. When they took us, it was big stadium. They took us on first floor, first chairs, you know. And there was like DK manager and some other important guys, and they're like, stand up. We get them out and put us in. That was most weird thing ever, really. I was like, why do you knock out DK manager when a team playing right now? Like, okay, now we sit down. You're like, oh, fine. And everybody on stadium was like, oh. A lot of people around think that we have biggest chances to win. I really dislike this. I hate this. Because as more people praise you, as bigger fall you're gonna get. But I'm gonna try my best. I'm gonna crush everybody.
Clement Ivanov, Puppy, Estonia, Tartuk.
Alexander Dashkevich, Hvost, Kiev, Ukraine.
Kuro Zalei Takhazomi, Kuroki, Berlin, Germany.
Gleb Lepatnikov, Fanik, Kharkiv, Ukraine.
Daniil Shutin, Dandy, Lviv, Ukraine.
So there you have it. That's Navi's 5, and it's a different 5 that they turned up with in 2011 to take the championship. They are a different team here, but wow, they've been doing amazing. And you can also see on the right-hand side with the players and some of the titles, that's if they've, I'm not sure what those titles are, if they've competed in all.
They played on both internationals.
They played at both internationals,
so now this is their
only
turn.
Funnick is the kind of newer one to the scene, but a different team. How are they going to do in their game versus Orange?
Well, like Ben said, I think they will come out on top as well. Whether it's 2-0 or 2-1, not
Ben's
entirely
dying
sure.
over here.
It's okay, Ben. I'll come reciprocate you in a while. I mean, I had Orange going as favorites into the tournament, or one of the underdogs that could upset a lot of teams. They haven't been as strong as I had hoped them to be. And after having seen Navi's performance, I really think Navi is going to take the win. I would bet my rares on it anyways.
Yeah, I think Havos has really been stepping it up, though. I think he might have found another hero besides Lifestealer or Alchemist and Gyrocopter. Those were pretty much his main three before, but now he plays Weaver all the time, and he is an absolute monster on Weaver. I think he's probably one of the top carries in the Fantasy League, and he is definitely outperforming.
And I just want to ask, Bruno,
yes.
We know Dendy knows you. You know Dendy.
I think he knows me.
You get some information out of him, but I want to know, how has he been doing? Because we had a little introduction from him in the video, but how's Dendy's overall performance?
Well, the thing is, in Dendy's mind, he has every single game he has a completely different draft than what ends up happening. Papi is saying, no, we can't do this. We can't have patch every single game. I can't be playing Necrolite support. That doesn't work. Eventually, we'll see what happens. But if you look at what he's doing right now in the preliminary, he's really happy playing Shadowfiend. He's 4-0, 3-0 with Razor, one of the picks that is kind of the trending picks of the tournament because how well he deals versus things like Owl Devourer in the mid and even in the side lanes versus things like Lifestealer and Lawn Druid. So Dendy doing amazing so far.
All right, well, we'll see how they do in their first matchup, but of course they're going to need an opponent, and their opponent in the upper bracket will be Orange Esports, and here they are.
My name is Koo Jong-sing, Ohio, from Orange Generation Esports, and I'm from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Just you maybe can say I'm a humble giant. They always call me in every humble giant.
My name is Chai Yifeng. My nickname is Mushi. I'm from Team Orange and from Malaysia. If I really win the National 3, that means my dream come true.
Because I think we can win this. We must have every team join this competition. Sure have a confidence to win this, so we are same.
Actually, we trying to change a lot of play style. We try to find out what play style is most suitable for us. But I think still the same. We like to aggressive more.
My family is not very support me to playing this game. Because for them it's just wasting time and it's not a job. But this years when they saw me playing on the stage and overseas playing the tournament, they are very proud of me.
I always tell all my fans, if I didn't get any world championship, I won't retire. So now still same. I'll try my best to win the National 3.
Because this is my first time to see the other teams like Navi, Alliance, LGNT and the others. So I'm quite happy. I will do my best in this tournament.
Lee Kong Yang, KYXY, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia.
Chai Yifeng, Mushi, Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur.
Lim Wai Ben, Net, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia.
Koo Jong-sing, Ohio, Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur.
Joel Chanjanel, Exting, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia.
So there you have it. That's the team of Orange, and you can see already in the interview, they know they can win, they want to win, and they've got some star players in their lineup. Speaking of one of them, guys, Mushi.
The solo mid of Southeast Asia. I'm expecting great things out of Mushi. I would like to see his Queen of Pain matching up against Dendy on the middle lane. That would be amazing to watch, I think. He's been doing sort of well in the 1-on-1 tournament. Not that it's any indicator of how well they're going to do in the tournament, but I think Mushi versus Dendy is going to be a dream matchup to watch in the middle lane. Another thing I want to point out is which team gets Chen, because Extinct is a superb Chen player, and so is Poppy, obviously. So that could mean a lot to the outcome of the match if either team gives the other one Chen.
Now, Ben, you've already said Na'Vi are going to take this 2-0. How can Orange convince you otherwise in gameplay and style? Where do you want more from him going into this Na'Vi match?
Well, I really like how Orange has put Mushi in the mid role now. I think when a solo player, I wouldn't say their other lanes are weak, but they just don't really seem to have what it takes to get him through the early mid. Mushi loves to play aggressive. He's a fantastic win runner, feared Obsidian Destroyer, and they usually do much, much better when he's middle. TA too, I think he absolutely crushed in the 1v1 tournament. Again, not that it means that much, but he usually wins his lane.
Yeah, he's been doing fantastically. But Malk, I think we've got a couple of minutes until the game's ready, so we're going to continue talking about Orange, if that's okay with you. You picked them to go really far, and you look like you've had your mind kind of changed.
Navi is always a strong team. You can never underestimate them. So putting them up as favorites in this matchup is not really the hardest thing to do. But going into the tournament, I heard rumors about how much Orange practiced, and they did put a lot of hours into perfecting their play, and knowing how good of a player Mushi is, I sort of expected them to do great things and at least finish top 3. And I like to put a bet on an underdog team, because they're not one of those favorites like LGD or IG or Navi or Alliance. So I was just hoping to see them do really, really well, and I still think they can. But this matchup is obviously going to decide a lot of things for them. And again, if I was a betting man, Navi would be my winner.
Bruno, are you a betting man? Are you the supporter of the underdogs? What do you know about Orange? Give us the inside info.
There are 3 things that trouble me about Orange. First of all, if you look at the record in the preliminary stages, they lost 2-0 versus Alliance and Tongfu, the guys that were on top of them. So while they beat the lower ranked teams, they seem to struggle against the teams that are actually really strong at the tournament so far. So they will have to step up their game, and that's something that everyone knows.
Did you just say it's harder to beat good teams in Dota 2?
There are some teams that have problems beating the lower teams. They just get overconfident and they throw games. I think my friend here knows something about that.
Was that pointing at Ben or
Yeah,
Malk?
no,
Could you be more specific?
the guy that's right there, yeah.
Oh, the person backstage. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. He was telling me about it. The second thing that worries me about Orange is that they do not play Owl Devourer, not this tournament at least. Ben was talking, Mushi is an amazing Owl Devourer, but he's not playing in this tournament at all, just once, and they lost. And they do not play Tree nor Wisp, which are the 2 picks that everyone's worried about, that everyone thinks they have to ban against. So if anyone looks at this, they say, okay, now I can ban more according to what they're strong about, rather than what they are, what the strong picks are normally in the metagame. We can see Mushi. His GPM, not so amazing. Kill, death, assist, this is the average for the tournament. This is not Mushi-like numbers. Mushi likes to see 10 kills per game, stuff like that. It's not working for him. And the last thing that worries me about them is that I was talking to a player. I will not be able to mention who he is, because otherwise his home will be in trouble. But he was telling me that Mushi's biggest enemy is himself. He will not be defeated in the lane, but he defeats himself when he goes for greedy plays. And maybe he has to tone it down a little bit.
That's so deep, Bruno. So deep already. Nice suit, by the way.
Thank you.
Is it green because it's the start of the international and it matches?
That was the idea, yes.
I thought it was almost kind of like the Joker as well, though.
That's the secondary idea, but I'm kind of a Joker, I guess.
All right. So yeah, the teams are still getting set up. So as soon as they're ready, we'll be closing off the panel here and throwing it straight to game. So we're not going to delay you guys at home or in the auditorium to get the games actually started. But it's also worthy to note what's actually going to be happening today. So today in the brackets, we've got 2 upper bracket games. The first one, as we've kind of introduced, is going to be Navi versus Orange. And then we're going to be going on to Tongfu versus Fnatic. Now, both of these games are going to be best of 3. So the winner will be very happy. They'll be moving along. And I think, where do they guarantee themselves a top? Like, if you win this and you're in the semifinals, you're guaranteed top 6?
If you win this, you guarantee top 6, yes.
Yeah, which already means you're in the prize money. You've got a great shot at still finishing the tournament in a high place, but pretty amazing if you're actually able just to come out strong. And also momentum in a tournament like this, which lasts 5 days, you need to get that momentum if you want to go all the way. Because as good as all the teams are, everybody can beat everybody, but you need a little bit something special to get right to the end. So
that's exactly what we saw Navi did last year. They got their momentum going throughout the playoffs or the winner bracket, and they went all the way to the grand finals for the playoffs despite having a terrible group stage compared to how good of a team they were. So yeah, momentum plays a big role. I don't think any team in the tournament is gonna settle for top 6 as they progress through the bracket. Everyone's gonna have that hope for the million. So
yeah, we'll see how they go.
And 1.3.
Close enough. Let's round up.
All right, and also the teams that momentum need a little bit as well, the lower bracket guys. These are the teams that have come into the lower bracket here at Malini. So all of these games are going to be a best of 1. If you lose today, you are out, and we will lose 4 teams. Malini, I'm going to keep this lower bracket up right now because you're the guy that, you got the odds. tell me who's going home today and who's going to stay out of each game. The first one, Team Dignitas, Rattlesnake.
Well, they were 5th place, so at the top of the losers bracket in Group A, they were able to choose their opponent. Rattlesnake looked the weakest in Group B. I think Dignitas will take that easy. LGDN versus Mouse. LGDN had a slightly stronger record. I think that Brax is really the key to their team. He had some really strong performances on Batrider, on Magnus, and Mouse has, I must say, been a little bit disappointing this one's pretty close. I'd say I would bet on LGDN if I had to, though. Team Liquid versus MUFC. Team Liquid, they lost to IG. They were very close to securing a spot in the winners bracket, but unfortunately dropped 0-2 versus IG, and they will go against the very, very unfavored MUFC. 0-14 in the group stage, the only team not to even win one game, and this one you have to favor Team Liquid.
All right, guys, any agreements or disagreements thus far?
The human in me sort of hopes that MUFC beats Liquid just so that they don't go home undefeated, because that must feel terrible.
So that means you want Liquid out of the tournament?
I never said that.
It sounds kind of official.
That's what it sounded like. Wow.
I'm just saying, would you want to go home without winning a game in an event as big as this one?
Well, if they do win 2 games, though, they do secure prize money, as Bruno said. So, I mean, they could end up with a record of 2-14, an atrocious record, but still come on with a decent amount of money. Yeah, so these are only best of ones, and you have to keep that in mind in the losers bracket.
Yeah, of course. I mean, the prelims, everyone's kind of finding their footing in the tournament, and now it's the main event. Even if you're in the lower bracket, you still have the chance to go all the way through the tournament and win. And they're not looking like, oh, let's just hope we get top 6 because it's prize money. Of course not. Everybody is in this to win it, and they all know that any team can beat any team. And even MUFC, Bruno, the team that didn't have a good prelims, they can still beat any team, I feel, if they just bring their A game.
I would be really scared to play against them, because normally what you do is you watch the replays and see what they did well in the preliminary stage, and they didn't do anything particularly well, so you do not know what to expect, you do not know what you're going to encounter. So if MUFC decides to go for something crazy, something different, a fringe pick that we haven't seen so far, you can't really prepare. You have to hope that you're just a better team player by player, but you will not be able to prepare against any of their strats.
I actually think MUFC purposely held back some strategies from the prelims, knowing that whatever happens in the main event, you have to bring out certain picks, certain bans, certain strategies that they probably haven't shown yet. So the main event is going to be super, super dangerous. And I think the one that we just skipped over was the last best of one, which is going to be Zenith versus Virtus Pro. That'll be the last game of today. So make sure you stay around to see that, because that should be a really good match.
That's tomorrow, I think.
Oh, is it tomorrow?
Yes.
Oh.
We got Rattlesnake versus Dignitas as the first.
I thought we were doing all lower bracket matches today.
No, just the top 2.
I've got a different schedule. I've got the 2014 schedule. You guys are way behind.
We did not show that yet.
I already know who wins this. So, but I'll just play along with the show. I won't upset anybody. So, because I know, I can also tell you that the teams are going to be ready in just about 4 minutes and 13 seconds. So, guys, we're going to have to look into where we think the tournament's going to go. But so far, I'm impressed by everybody who's been able to qualify to be able to get here. But do you have anything for me? Come on, any information? Malk, you've got to have something.
I mean, I don't have any know-how on if teams have special strategies saved or anything. I haven't been talking to them that much. I think the LGD Alliance game is going to be so intense. It's coming up tomorrow. Alliance was faced with a very hard choice on who to pick for their match, and picking LGD for your first winner bracket match is quite something. That means you have a lot of trust in yourself, I'd say.
That was a brave move.
Yes.
Because LGD finished 3rd place last year, and Alliance picked them as their opponent to play in the upper bracket. Is that a mistake, Ben? Bruno, what do you think of this?
I think, I don't know. It's tough. I'm torn on that one. It's a difficult road either way. I would have personally picked Fnatic EU. They did beat Na'Vi 2-0, but aside from that, they dropped 2 versus DK, and pretty convincing fashion for DK. And I don't know. I don't really know what their feeling is on this, but I mean, I have trust in their decision though that it's going to be 2-0. If you pick LGD over Fnatic, they must have a plan.
Yeah. Bruno?
Well, they do have the finals of a recent tournament, the G1 League, was it? Against LGD China, so they know they can beat the team. But most importantly, I think at this point it's all about holding a little bit of your secrets and knowing that because they play with Fnatic so much, Fnatic knows them well, very, very well. So if they want to play Fnatic, they will have to reveal something new right now. If they want to play against LGD China, they can play the standard game because it's going to work anyways, or at least it's going to work equally as good as trying something new. I think that's where the decision went.
Yeah, and of course this match we're talking about, Alliance versus LGD, will be tomorrow. Just to give you guys a heads up, this is what you're going to be seeing today, and I'm going to get this right this time, so we do have a graphic which generally helps me. Pictures are good. But Na'Vi versus Orange is going to be the first game up, Tongfu versus Fnatic, Team Dignitas versus Rattlesnake, LGD International versus Mousesports. No graphic appeared. I didn't need it. Nailed it.
And then after that, we have
Production
two
was
more.
teasing me,
We have two more lower bracket
here it
matches.
is.
Oh, here we go.
This is a graphic. Yeah, so there you have it. Na'Vi versus Orange, Tongfu Fnatic, Dignitas versus Rattlesnake. This is the coming up next 3 games, and hopefully we're only moments away from Na'Vi versus Orange. But in all fairness, I cannot blame any reason to if they're slightly delayed. Maybe it's just making sure they're getting properly set up and comfortable, because it's the tournament. It's the tournament, and what are you going to win here? You're going to get engraved this time. This is the Aegis of Champions. If you actually win the International, this is what Chon held up from Invictus Gaming last time, and they're actually, I think, later, maybe it will be on the prize ceremony or afterwards, just privately, but they're going to have the winning team engraved at the event onto the Aegis, and that's what they're playing for. And I think that's there's some good photo opportunities with that.
Oh, definitely. It works really well as a tray as well. You can serve drinks with it. I think it might even be better than winning the money.
So we talked about a lot about how Alliance picked LGD. What do you think about Na'Vi actually picking Orange over IG?
Well, I think that wasn't obvious. I think IG and Na'Vi...
Well, they all had the same record. They were all 8-6 in Group B.
I think Na'Vi respects IG's way of playing the game a bit more than they respect Orange. I think Na'Vi knows what to expect from Orange. Although Orange has a very distinct player style of their own and do different strategies, I think the way IG comes together can really tear Na'Vi's game plan apart early on, and I don't think Na'Vi want to meet them just yet. I think they have a lot of respect for IG and might even hope not to meet them throughout the tournament.
Yeah. And Mushi, of course, is in the grand finals, I believe, of the solo championships.
Oh yeah, Dendi might want...
So Dendi just wants to knock him out as early as possible, and that way, you know, he feels happy, because Dendi and Ferrari in the 1v1 tournament didn't get to the finals. It's actually going to be Ice versus Mushi, and that will be some additional content we'll be bringing to you over the tournament, and that will be the grand finals, of course. And there you can see Mushi, he's going to be going again. Is there any other players that kind of have overperformed or underperformed for Orange? Because they're still in the upper bracket, they've done well, but could they have done better? Did you see any of their games, guys?
I'm a little bit disappointed on Net not picking Sun King as often. He was amazing with that hero on the Alienware Cup recently, about a month ago. Now he transitioned into a role that plays more of a kind of a 3-to-1 position carry, life stealer, not gets lots of farm, but kind of works. The Sun King is still a hero that Orange is picking a lot, but Extinct is playing it. I want to see more Net Sun King. I think it was much more effective than whatever Extinct is doing right now.
Like you're saying, Sanking is something he's been playing a lot, and we've even played one game this tournament.
Mm-hmm.
They did win that game though.
Yes.
And Orange is the team to pick Sanking the most, and they have like 3 players that can play the Sanking. Mushi on the middle lane has played it. So I would like to see Net play it. Like, he's been playing a ton of different heroes actually.
Yeah.
We've seen Siren,
Naga Siren a lot. And
And
it's working really well as well.
I mean, the tournament in general has just been really amazing. We've seen Spear Breaker, we see like Tidehunter get picked a lot now, we see Earthshaker. It's been amazing, the hero variety that we've seen thus far.
Yeah, and just moments ago, actually, we did see Orange. They're in the booth, they're in the pod, whatever we call it, but still getting ready, too ready. They're 9 out of 10 in queue. That's what I've heard. They're using just matchmaking and hoping everybody gets matched up. But yeah, at least they're all in the pod and looking to go, and hopefully they'll be ready for us soon. But as you know, we are sure once we get started, it's just pretty much going to be all day of Dota 2, even if we are a little slow with the first game, which of course we do apologize. But waiting for a game of Na'Vi and at the International against Orange, of course, they're a great opponent. I'm fine waiting.
I think they're just pulling people through the secret shop and allowing them back into the game, giving everyone a fair chance at getting their t-shirt on before the game starts.
All right, so well, I'm just getting told, roughly 3 minutes until we get started.
How's everyone's fantasy team doing?
Ben's trying to save me.
I actually hope Orange will come out on top, because I have Mushi on my fantasy team, and Extinct too. So that would pay off well if they defeated Na'Vi.
They've definitely been outshined by Alliance and Na'Vi, but those are still some pretty good picks. Yourself, Bruno?
I haven't been able to log to Dota 2, but every single group with whom I'm playing, they're saying, you're winning by a lot. You're winning by a lot. I don't know if they just want to give me confidence coming into the event, or my team is actually that good. I'll see after it's over.
You don't remember a single player on your team?
I remember I didn't have anyone from MUFC.
Wise choice.
But yeah, I think I have Siler on it.
You can't celebrate that. You gave a little celebration. I don't have anybody from...
We're talking about fantasy teams. I want MUFC to win, but I want my fantasy team to win.
I want my fantasy team to lose. And,
Why?
I don't know. I don't even think I put players in. I completely forgot to put players in my compendium. I only filled half of it in. I was trying to convince Valve to let me change it, but they said no. But it looks like we're actually ready to go into the game, so enough of us and more about the Dota 2 here at the International. It's going to be Na'Vi versus Orange, a best of 3. Here's game 1, so it's over to the hall. Best of luck to both teams.
Thank you very much, James.